I'm Emily Thompson, 40, 2 years old, a single mother and a graphic designer living in Willow Creek. My life has never been easy, but it has always been purposeful because of my daughter, Sophia. At 16, she is the brightest light in my world, ambitious and gifted, with dreams of becoming a digital artist and architect. Every sacrifice I've made, every dollar I've stretched, has been for her future. I wasn't always this strong. Growing up, I clung to my younger sister Rebecca like a shadow. She was 2 years younger, reckless and fearless. When storms rattled our house, we huddled in the same bed, whispering secrets and promises. She dared me into adventures, and I admired her courage, but somewhere along the way, admiration soured into bitterness. Rebecca never forgave me for being steady while she stumbled. Her words became weapons cloaked as compliments. "A nice dress," she'd say. "Mom must have felt sorry for you." When I married young, she whispered to my husband that I was fragile, weak. When I bought my first home, she scoffed at it as a starter house. And when Sophia was born, her jealousy curdled completely. She spoiled her own kids rotten, yet accused my daughter of being entitled whenever I gave her something earned. My parents, John 60, 5 and Linda 60, 3, didn't help. They laughed off Rebecca's sharpness, dismissing her barbs as humor. They leaned on me constantly, from babysitting Rebecca's kids to co-signing their medical loan. I bore it all in silence, convincing myself it was family duty. But when Sophia's old, sluggish computer began to slow her down, I knew something had to change. Her designs, her future, she needed better tools. So I worked extra shifts, skipped meals out, and saved every dollar until I had $2,000. The day I surprised her with the new laptop, she hugged me so tight I thought my ribs would crack. With tears in her eyes, she whispered, "I'll make you proud." That moment lit a fire in me. I thought the worst was behind us. I didn't know the flames waiting ahead would consume more than just her gift. They would burn away illusions I had clung to for decades. It was supposed to be a happy night. The annual family barbecue in my parents' backyard, laughter, grilled burgers, stories from old days. Sophia brought her laptop, eager to show her grandparents her latest sketches. She set it down for just a moment, her eyes glowing with hope. That's when Rebecca's children struck. Alex, 14, grabbed it first, his grin sharp. "Look at this fancy toy." He jeered, dangling it, while Mia, 12, laughed. Before I could move, they tossed it into the fire pit. The flames ate the edges of the box before the laptop even hit the coals. I'll never forget Sophia's gasp, the way her hands froze midair, as if she could will the fire to spit it back out. My parents chuckled nervously. My sister smirked, leaning back in her chair. "Maybe this will teach her not to be spoiled," she said, her voice dripping with venom. Her kids clapped like it was a carnival act, but I didn't scream. I didn't lunge, I just watched silent as the fire devoured my daughter's dreams. Silence is heavier than screams. Slowly the laughter died. My father shifted uncomfortably. My mother's smile faltered. Even Rebecca's smirk wavered when I leaned forward and spoke. "Do you know what I saved for while you wasted money on cigarettes and vacations? Do you know what I cut back on while you drowned in debt for your latest phone? I gave my daughter something that mattered." I turned to Alex and Mia. "And you, did you enjoy destroying something you could never earn for yourselves?" Their grins faded. Rebecca rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on. It's just a computer. She'll live." I smiled. "You're right. She'll live, but you won't." In that moment, something shifted inside me. Years of bobs, years of sacrifices dismissed. I felt them burning away with the flames. I knew then that my revenge wouldn't be loud. It would be quiet, precise, and final. The next morning, I woke with a clarity sharper than any anger. I hugged Sophia, promised her I'd replace the laptop, and then began dismantling the toxic web my family had trapped me in. First, my parents. Years ago, I signed their small loan. They thought I'd forgotten, that I'd keep carrying them. I hadn't. I withdrew immediately, cutting off their safety net. Panic calls rolled in voicemails begging for help, but I ignored them, sipping my coffee in peace. Next, Rebecca. I opened the family group chat and typed, "From today forward, I am not available for your needs. Don't call, don't text, don't ask." I hit send, blocked them all, and smiled at the freedom blooming in my chest. But my sister had more to lose than my money. Her children had left digital footprints. videos of shoplifting, screenshots of cheating, posts mocking classmates. I didn't lie. I didn't need to. I compiled the evidence and sent it to the school, the principal, and the police. Within days, Alex and Mia were suspended. Community service was ordered. Rebecca's perfect facade cracked. 2 weeks later, she stormed into my house spitting venom. "You ruined my kids' lives," she screamed. I met her gaze, calm as stone. "No, they ruined their own. I just stopped covering for you." She trembled, her voice breaking. "You think you're better than me." I stepped closer, my voice low. "No, I just stopped letting you drag me down, and now everyone sees you for who you are." For the first time in years, Rebecca had no words. She stormed out, and I didn't follow. Cutting ties felt like shedding heavy chains. I funneled the money I once wasted on them into Sophia's future. Within weeks, I bought her a better laptop, faster and stronger, with all the software she needed. She threw her arms around me, whispering, "Was it worth it?" I smiled, "Yes, because justice doesn't always scream. Sometimes it just smiles." Rebecca struggled as consequences rained down. Her kids faced counseling, community service, and public shame. My parents, drowning in debt without my help, finally had to face reality. Family gatherings stopped. The barbecue had been the last, but Sophia thrived. Free from the shadow of envy, she poured her heart into her designs. Months later, she won a regional art contest. Watching her stand on stage glowing with pride, I knew every sacrifice, every silence, every calculated strike had been worth it. One day, I ran into Rebecca at the grocery store. Her face was tired, her voice cracked. "We need you," she muttered. I shook my head. "No, you needed what I gave. Now you have to stand on your own." That night, Sophia and I sat on our porch, watching the sun dip behind the trees. The fire pit memory lingered, but it no longer burned. It strengthened. The lesson was clear. Love rots when poisoned by envy. Family is not an obligation when it becomes a prison. True justice isn't loud or violent. It's reclaiming your power, setting boundaries, and smiling as those who wronged you face the truth. I had learned finally that sometimes the bravest act isn't forgiving endlessly. It's walking away.